friends, welcome back to Journey Church's Teacher Talk with Sean and Steph.
Hi.
Today we're in chapter 8 on the Judges era. And Steph, I got to tell you, now, we love Max Anders. Anders. I'm not taking anything away from him. This is one of the first places where structurally I would actually propose a different way he went about this, because you'll notice our key summary statement here is Samson and others were chosen as judges to govern the people for 400 rebellious years. I would use a different Sam instead of Samson. I would go with Samuel. Because my personal opinion, if I was putting this together, I'd be like, Samuel was like, to me, like the mamma jamma judge. And as you know, Max does point out, he was also the first prophet in Israel once we got into the era of the kings. But yeah, I mean, like, Samson's got a cool story.
Yeah, for sure.
Not taking anything away from Samson. Maybe he's going to punch me in the face just for saying it when we get there. But I would personally want to put Samuel as like the archetype, you know, for this particular section. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so he lists a couple other judges also that are significant in this era of history, being Deborah.
Yes.
She was a female judge in the early era. Gideon has a great story of overcoming your fear.
Yes, I love Gideon. I love
very
his story.
Relatable. We're there. And then Samson and Samuel that we've mentioned already.
Yeah. And, you know, as you get into Judges, there's a couple jacked up stories in there. Jephthah gets weird. I mean, but again, it's so encouraging. God will choose unlikely people.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
you know, for those of you out there to be like, I don't know if God can use my life. Yes, he can. But by all means, please pursue wholeness, right? You know, let's not stay crazy. But I actually wanted to underscore that point too. He mentions Deborah and Ruth.
Yeah.
Two women that just aren't talked enough about in the Bible. And, you know, for people that have trouble recognizing women in positions of authority in the church, like, what do you do with Deborah? I mean, she was a judge. She was literally one of the people leading Israel through a very tumultuous time. Like, that's who God raised up. So you gotta wrangle with that stuff when you're thinking through some of our doctrines on that.
Yeah, a neat thing about Ruth too is that she was, as a non-Hebrew, is still listed in the lineage from Abraham to Jesus.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, like she was significant.
Yes, amazing. So and then, friend, unfortunately, like this is a spot where we kind of get in cycles of rebellion. I think Max talks about this kind of being a dark period in Israel's history after they had just, you know, conquered their promised land, and then, you know, they just fall into these cycles of rebellion, and it requires another deliverer kind of rising up when they cry out each time. So let's take the lesson, let's take the hint. Let's
learn the first time.
Let's just stay in obedience and loving Jesus and moving forward. So I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
for now?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today, guys. May you delight in his heart as you delight in his word.
See you tomorrow.